Looks like we have the needed quorum to keep going. Yes? We have enough people to go to start the meeting, yes? I need an answer from somebody. Well, we needed 9 people, right?
8,
No. Because 2 people have to recuse themselves.
one at a time.
Right. Which means we need 9. So we can start. Welcome, everyone. We now have quorum, and we will begin the meeting of the Oklahoma City Arts Commission for December 16th, 2024. Before the commission votes on each item, I will ask staff to provide details of each case. I will ask if the applicant has anything to add, and I will ask if any members of the public wish to speak. If you wish to address the Arts Commission, you will be recognized. Please go to the central podium, state your name and address for the record, and begin your comments. Please limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Our next item is to receive the minutes from the October 21st regularly scheduled meeting. Since we are receiving the minutes and not approving them, all commissioners members may make motions to receive and to vote, whether they attended that particular meeting or not. So we're asking for a motion and a second. We've got it. And now we can vote.
Nothing's popping up on board.
We've got a couple of folks
Nothing's popping up
that
on
don't
mine.
have it on the screen. Okay, it's passed. Did you,
No, it wouldn't
Did you get
pop
to
up.
vote?
No, I didn't get to vote.
do you want to go on record?
Did you not click that you were absent?
No.
It had clicked there. That you voted yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now we're moving on to item 3, items of discussion action. 3A, currently untitled mural by Giovanni Vinais Avendano to be located at the Paycom Center Arena Plaza at 100 West Reno Avenue, Ward 7. And Leandre will present the item.
My name is Leandre Lattimore, project manager for Arts and Cultural Affairs. What we have here is a mural that's going to go outside of the Paycom Center, specifically in the Paycom Center Plaza, which on the next slide I'll show you a little bit about a few slides behind. Okay, here we go. So this is an overhead view of the Paycom Center. The location of the mural will be specifically to the south side of the Paycom Center. It's the space that sits directly in between the Oklahoma City Convention Center and the Paycom Arena. So I'll move on to the next image. So here's the image below is what you see is where the actual mural will be. So it's a fence that's right there on the south side as mentioned. And the image above just shows the concept from the artist. As mentioned before, the artist's name is Giovanni Avendano. He also goes by the artist name Vinais. He's a muralist based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This project was exciting for us because we got to collaborate with ASM Global and the Paycom Center in putting together this project. And as you can see in the mural, it encompasses a lot of things about Oklahoma City and our vibrant culture here, as well as drawing attention to some of the events that take place inside the Paycom Center. When we put together this committee, one of the things that was mentioned is that they wanted to put an emphasis on more things than just the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's where a lot of the inspiration for this mural came from, in that we want to emphasize all the great events that people go to the Paycom Center to be a part of. So a little bit more details. The entire size of this mural is just under 400 square feet, 384 square feet to be exact. Each one of the wooden panels that you see there are approximately 67 by 69 inches, and that is the actual surface that the artist will be painting on. So most of the mural will be hand painted, and there are certain parts of it that will be painted on ACM, aluminum composite material, and then mechanically attached to the fence. If you see in the concept sketch there, there's an outline in black there, and then you maybe see the wing of the scissortail flycatcher, and then the feather there to the left that sort of hover over that outline. Those are the spaces that will actually have the ACM that will be applied to sort of give the mural itself a three-dimensional element. One other thing I didn't mention is that the art award for this would be $12,750. And then the artist also hopes to have this completed by the end of February, so we are really excited to see the end results of this. And with that being said, I'm more than happy to answer any questions from the commission, and I'll also ask that you all recommend this to the Downtown Design Commission for review. Yes.
When we met on this one, we talked about possible changes to the mural. This is the
Yes.
original sketch, yes?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that, Commissioner. So we did go to the artist with a few adjustments that were suggested by the selection committee. The artist had no objection to those, and he's actually currently working on those as we speak. The reason why you see this current one and not the updated one is that the changes were minor to the fact that we did not feel that it would change the overall integrity of what you see here.
Will the mural be continuous from one end to the other? They're going to paint over the support beam structure on the fence, or are they just going to paint on the individual panels so that those black posts are going to be pretty visible?
Yes, so it was requested that the artist did not paint over the black support beams that you see, so the painting will only take place on the wooden panels that you see.
Thank you. Is the image going to be, since they're going to have all these divisions across it, is the image going to be maybe manipulated in some way so that it, I guess I'm just curious about how they're going to handle all those divisions, if they're going to have it more compartmentalized so that each panel has a different image, or is it just going to try to pretend like the images aren't there and then connect them through the space that the support beam has, and if it has a curve to it, that it comes down, skips over the beam or support structure, and then picks up on the other side, the other part of the design. I'm just curious as to how they're going to handle that.
I think what you see here kind of gives the overall image. It'll be a little bit of both, I think. So I think there are definitely areas where the artist can compartmentalize, especially certain spaces that it may look awkward to sort of carry it over into the next panel. But for the most part, what you see here is how it will look in terms of the artist connecting each panel to have one sequential image, is like what you see here.
But I think one of the things, and I'm not speaking for anybody but myself, but I'm guessing that the artist will, since he's painting live, he'll, like the green loopy thing, it may spill over into the next one. So they'll be contiguous so that the green goes that way and
Right.
it doesn't go here and then jog down here.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's going to be challenging to have to deal with all those partitions.
For what it's worth, this artist is very experienced, and they've also partnered with the Thunder to do murals for them in the past. So we feel like this artist has a good relationship with the Paycom Center as well as us to address these challenges correctly.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Leandre? Okay, I think we have, it's been moved and we need a second still?
It's not been seconded
Yeah.
yet.
Can somebody second it? Sure. Okay, great. It's been moved and seconded, and now we'll vote.
I'm still not being able to vote. It's not popping up. Yes.
No, it shows on the vote. I voted yes.
It passed. Okay. We'll move on to item 3B, loan agreement, Light and Airy by Heavy from the Downtown OKC Partnership. The two-piece sculpture will be installed at the roundabout where Class and Drive, Northwest 10th, and Walker converge in Ward 6. And Randy will present this.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Randy Marks, Program Planner in Arts and Cultural Affairs. This is our last commission meeting, as far as we know. We're not expecting a special one any later than this, but the last one of 2024. Glad that you're here, and we have a full agenda for you, as we've already started out and you've already seen. Item 3B, in 2022, the Downtown OKC Partnership, working in conjunction with stakeholders including Midtown Renaissance and SSM St. Anthony Hospital, announced an RFQ for a sculpture to be placed in the circle of the roundabout at Northwest 10th and Walker. Excuse me. This is adjacent to the Plaza Court, former Brown's Donuts, well-known spot in Oklahoma City. The project attracted a lot of applicants, from which were selected 4 finalists who presented proposals to the selection committee. The committee decided not to choose any of the proposals after considering them all, and after considering multiple options after that, eventually invited a proposal from the artist team called Heavy, and they're from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I'll note that Commissioner Bailey was on the selection committee for this. Their proposal, light and airy, is a giant piece of cake with an accompanying fork that you see over to the right side of the image. The fork doubles as a bench. The piece of cake pays tribute in color to Oklahoma sky and sunsets, and also the playful nature of the cake and fork. Subject matter pays tribute to the multiple delicious food options that abound in Midtown. The illuminated sculpture is composed of acrylic and metal, which is the metal is mild steel and stainless steel. And as I said before, it resembles a triangular sheet of sunset-colored cake topped by a form that references both the cloud and whipped cream. And the additional fork sculpture that serves as a bench provides seating just east of the structure. Lately, we've seen various loan and donation agreements. This is a loan agreement, so this means that the work will continue to be owned by Downtown OKC Partnership. And the basic terms of the loan agreement are that it will last for 10 years, renewable for 10-year terms, by agreement of both parties. And by agreement of both parties, at any time the owner, DOKC, may remove the work from the site and transport the work to another location at their expense. Maintenance and insurance are both the responsibility of the owner. So that's the basic outline and the work. And there will be an art identification marker provided by the artist team, and the artists have signed a VERA waiver already. Recommendation from staff is recommend approval of the loan agreement to City Council. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Commissioner Cooper, do you have any questions?
Not right now.
Okay. So do we have any questions?
Is there something in that location right now?
There is landscaping in there. There had been a sculpture in there at one point, I believe, that was moved to another roundabout. And I'm not exactly sure when that happened.
I think it was
Right now, there's crepe myrtles and a variety of other things.
the
in there.
original sculpture is, I think, at 10th and Chartel now.
Excuse me?
I think the original sculpture is at 10th and Chartel.
Yes, that's correct. And here are some other views also as you're contemplating.
I'm just going to say it. I don't think the average person is going to get it. That's my 2 cents.
Okay.
But the conditions of just saying we're borrowing it makes it a little more acceptable.
Randy, you may have said this, but just confirming, does the city have the maintenance on this, or does downtown Oklahoma City have the maintenance on this
Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership will be responsible for maintenance.
during the time?
Now, there may be casual, day-to-day maintenance that's done by the city. But the maintenance of the work itself is DOKC's responsibility.
Do we have any more questions? No? Okay, we're going to need that motion and the second, and then the vote.
I just, people aren't gonna get on No, but you're driving around here and the fork's back over here, and if you're over there, you don't.
It passed. We can go on to item 3C. This is the one? Okay. Commissioner Eichmann will be recusing herself from this one.
Oh, because she's the one behind it all.
Great. Item 3C, Neuf for Oklahoma Autumn by Edgar Heepebergs from Campbell Park LLC. The installation will be in Campbell Art Park, Ward 6. And Randy will present again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Campbell Art Park is a linear urban public park maintained by Campbell Park LLC of the Kirkpatrick Family Fund under an agreement with the City of Oklahoma City through Parks and Recreation. Oklahoma Contemporary is responsible for programming Campbell Art Park and has successfully mounted a series of public installations over the last several years, and all of those have come before this body, so many of you have seen those. One of my favorites, Whiteout by Erwin Riddle a number of years ago, absolutely outstanding work, one of many, but the works have graced Oklahoma City, and we're very happy to be able to present another one to you today. Neufs for Oklahoma Autumn by Edgar Heepebergs will stand as a significant and interactive public art installation comprised of 2 half-size basketball courts featuring elements from Edgar Heepebergs' Native Host series on each backboard. Let's take a look at that. First, here's the location. Oklahoma Contemporary folded light building on the right, and then the pen where the installation will be. And there's Edgar, and some color renderings of Neufs. The courts are slightly smaller than regulation half courts, painted with durable exterior paint. A scoreboard will be incorporated as an additional focal point, and fencing is included as an integral component of an urban basketball court. As part of the construction process, Project Backboard will assist in ensuring the court surfaces are optimized for public interaction. Excuse me. Heepebergs, known for his work addressing Native history, memory, and resistance, brings Neufs as a profound intersection of sport, identity, and cultural dialogue. Through the physicality of basketball, a sport deeply embedded in local culture, the installation encourages community gathering, reflection, and active engagement. Heepebergs says, "My Neuf works are about sovereignty and landscape. They embody issues of homeland beauty and the significance of ritual in marking our connection to land. In painting, whether at home or abroad, I engage in cultural sovereignty. The Neuf series connects us to Oklahoma's canyons, forests, and the earthly energy of these places that hold profound resonance for our people. By imagining Neuf paintings as a public basketball court, I aim to create a space that invites our community to engage, celebrate, and reflect on our shared heritage." There will be an art identification marker provided by the artist, and a VERA waiver has been received. This is an elevation view, and the scoreboard is actually a recreation of a work from 1982 that was exhibited in, I believe, in Central Park in New York. So Edgar has a long history of doing work around the country and around the world, and was, for multiple years, was a professor of art at University of Oklahoma. So staff recommendation is to recommend to the Downtown Design Commission for a CA and to Development Services for a building permit. Under the agreement, this is basically, the commission is the deciding body. This doesn't go to city council, but it has to be reviewed, design review, and it is required to have a building permit. And we made a point about talking about the fence being an integral part of the work. This is an urban basketball court. That's part of the entire installation. And when you make your recommendation, it includes that fence as part of your recommendation.
Is it anticipated as part of the public interaction that someone might actually get out there and bounce a basketball around on this?
Most definitely.
I don't see any baskets or
Goals.
goal.
There,
Yeah.
you see a pole there. It is, no. If you look at the lower left-hand corner of the bottom painted area, you'll see a goal there.
Okay.
So these are constructed as half basketball courts, not meant to be a continual court.
Yeah.
So there are two backboards and goals.
So if people are going to interact with it, they'd have to bring their own basketball. Oh, there will be basketballs there? Okay.
Has anybody talked about a basketball going into traffic?
That shows the need for the fences.
Understood, but over the fence.
How bad of a shooter are you?
Do what now?
How bad of a shooter are you?
I couldn't even, I'm not a basketball guy, but I think it's a legit question though.
There is a possibility, no matter how high you had the fence, and of course some people might be inclined to intentionally throw one over the fence. But the fence should be high enough to keep
The
almost all of
average.
that from happening, but there's no guarantee.
It looks very similar to, in fence construction, to the downtown court at Reno and Hudson, and
Right.
it's been
No problems down
successful
there.
there for a very long time, so.
Okay.
And I'll note also that the installation will be up for probably at least 8 months. They're still determining exactly how long it'll be up. Could be longer than that, but at least 8 months will be the life of it.
Any more questions? And we have a motion that's been moved and seconded, so just vote.
Okay, what am I doing?
Okay, it's passed. Now, before we move on to 3D, we do have one more recusal, yes? Is someone needing me to recuse for this one? No? Okay. As soon as the commissioner sits. Okay, item 3D, donation agreement. C.G. Jones Memorial Plaza from Oklahoma City County Historical Society to the City of Oklahoma City to be installed at Oklahoma City Fairgrounds, Ward 6, and Randy will present.
I did not know. Well, I thought it was fabulous.
Charles Gasham Gristmill Jones is the most famous and consequential person in OKC and arguably Oklahoma history that you've never heard of.
Okay.
So I'm going to start down his CV, so to speak. Twice mayor of Oklahoma City, both times before statehood, a member of the territorial legislature, a member of the state legislature after statehood. He won a gold medal for the flour that he milled from the wheat that he grew at his farm in Mustang in the 1896 World Exhibition in Chicago. While I'm talking about Mustang, he had a farm there, but he established the town of Jones, which was named after him. The town of Luther is named after his son. Let's see, he participated in the founding of Epworth University, which became OCU, the alma mater of Commissioner Ontiveros, and maybe some others. He single-handedly brought one of the railroads to Oklahoma City. I haven't even begun, but I'm not going to go on a whole lot longer. He is credited with being the person who actually physically stole the Great Seal of the state of Oklahoma from Guthrie and brought it to Oklahoma City, to the Huckins Hotel. Now, there's maybe more, there's other versions of that story, but he was definitely involved in some way. So several years ago, the Oklahoma City County Historical Society decided, okay, enough of people not knowing who C.G. Jones is. Oh, grist mill, let me come back to this. Grist mill, that nickname came from the fact that he established a grist mill on the Canadian River, now the Oklahoma River. He also built a canal, the first canal in Oklahoma City, in order to generate electricity for the new burgeoning town of Oklahoma City. That failed because the soil was too sandy and it couldn't generate any power. But anyway, he tried. But anyway, the name grist mill came from his grist mill down on the Canadian River. A few years ago, the Society commissioned local artist LaQuincy Reed to do a life-size sculpture portrait of C.G. Jones. And there you see that's LaQuincy on the right, C.G. on the left, just in case there was any mistaking what was what. The other artifacts here on the left are some columns from the Huckins Hotel, which arguably was the Capitol building of the state of Oklahoma during the time that the Great Seal resided there, torn down in the spasm of urban renewal in the 1960s and 70s. Most unfortunately, in the upper right-hand corner, there is an actual grist mill, an actual mill stone from his grist mill, and the lion is from the headquarters building of the Oklahoma City Trolley. So, of course, our modern streetcar was preceded, by a really fine public transportation system back in the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and up into the 50s. So the City-County Historical Society is donating the sculpture and the artifacts to be included into a memorial that is going to be built at the Oklahoma Fairgrounds. Did I forget to say that C.G. Jones was instrumental in establishing the first state fair? Not single-handedly, but he was definitely the main player. So the big star is where the Memorial Plaza is going to go, directly to the north of the Bennett Event Center. That's the large building. The inset, I've updated this map a little bit. The inset, that's the new Coliseum, which doesn't show up on Google Maps yet. It's almost completed. Just as a side note, it's probably going to be finished and dedicated in June. That's what is thought. And then the Norick Arena, the oval-shaped building, is going to be torn down very soon after that, within months after that. The big red dot is the location of Bolt Tower. And I have a meeting with Jenny, again, I'm going to digress a moment, Jenny Sabin, the artist on Bolt Tower. We have regular 2-week updates, so we'll get an update from her on Thursday. Things are looking really, really good. The project is moving along. We don't anticipate the tower being done at the same time as the dedication of the building, but probably pretty soon thereafter. There'll be more on that later on. Anyway, I wanted you to get the full context of what is going on. This new plaza, the Bennett Event Center, which is an old, the Coliseum, which is brand new, the old old Norick Arena, which is going away. So really a whole lot happening with architecture and art at the fairgrounds. This is a plan view of the plaza. And then just a scene view and another one here. So the Historical Society is donating the various artifacts. One I left out, the cupola over, you see on the right-hand side, was an element from the BAUM building, B-A-U-M building, also torn down in urban renewal. So some of these C.G. Jones has a close relationship with. Some of them are just artifacts that relate to the early history of Oklahoma City. And they're going to be part of this plaza. This hardscape is being donated by the society, and the landscaping, or a portion, at least portion of it, they have enough money to do the landscaping is also being donated. The planning and all of that, all being donated. Now, so in the gift acceptance agreement, now this is a gift, so earlier we had a loan, but this is an actual gift to the city. All of it is being gifted to the city. But in the agreement, we are specifying that there's the sculpture and the work. The work comprises everything, but the sculpture is specifically the artwork created by LaQuincy Reed. And that is valued at about $50,000. The society is also donating $5,000 that will be used to establish a fund as directed by the Arts Commission for the upkeep and maintenance of the work of art. So although we're asking you to look at everything, we're considering the actual art to be the sculpture, but you're also accepting the entire work, which is the plaza. And the maintenance of the plaza will be handled by the State Fair.
I'm curious, how did this man escape recognition for so long? Because it's not like Oklahoma City doesn't recognize its founding fathers. I mean, there are people's names sprinkled all over, and pieces of art all over this city, honoring forefathers who made a significant contributions. How'd this guy escape? Did he make somebody mad?
Well, I think you hit on something, Commissioner Cooper.
Oh.
So the thought is, nobody knows, but the thought is that there has been some kind of attempt to, well, I won't cast aspersions on anybody, but the fact that he helped steal the state seal and bring it to Oklahoma. Others around the state maybe didn't care too much for the memory of C.G. Jones. That's the theory. We don't have any confirmation of that.
Yeah, but Oklahoma City was real proud of that.
Oklahoma City certainly benefited, and his picture hangs in City Hall, along with all the rest of the mayors of the city.
Any further questions? If not, we'll go ahead and vote.
And the artist has signed a VERA waiver. There will be an art identification marker also.
And it's passed. Yay. Next item 3E, is nomination and confirmation of officers for 2025. And Randy will once again present the item.
The nomination committee met via email discussions to discuss roles and duties of the Arts Commission officers and to make recommendations for officers for calendar year 2025. The nominations committee makes the following recommendations for executive committee officers: Debbie Nauser as chair from January 2025 through December 2025, Deborah Sinner as vice chair, same time period, and Salvador Ontiveros, commission advocate from January 2025 through December of 2025. So some years ago, the commission recommended that all terms be one-year terms. Oftentimes, there will be a continuation, and a particular position will be filled for an additional year. Commissioner Kovash has served 2 terms, and thank you very much. Well, there will be more about that, not today, but at a point very near in the future. But we're losing Commissioner Kovash as chair, but my understanding is that you're going to remain on the commission for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think there will be some announcement in the, about some commissioners in city council tomorrow, by the way.
This doesn't have anything to do with getting new members, right? Because we are searching for new members for the commission?
We make suggestions, recommendations to the mayor. And the mayor, according to ordinance, the mayor makes the selections, and then they're presented to the city council.
Thank you.
Now, I also want to note, any commissioner can make a nomination if you would like to nominate yourself or another commissioner who's not on the list. If you want to nominate somebody, you can also speak up and make a nomination.
At any time or right now?
Be prior to the vote.
Okay.
After that,
Anybody want to make a nomination or ask a question? Okay, well then we're going to vote. And it passed. Yay.
unanimous. Congratulations. It's going to be an exciting year. That's all. I won't promise much, but I can promise it will be an exciting year.
So item 4 and item 5, consent docket and commission advocate report, there's nothing to present.
I have one small thing.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry.
Just that it was announced for our fundraising for our arts community through Allied Arts efforts that Sally and Jeff Starling will chair that for this coming year, and that we will have the honorary chairs of Chris Cassey and Larry Kegwin. So I think it's a winning group there, and super excited to see what they do, but we all need to support those efforts. And then also, I think it's kind of a good news things for our arts community that whenever we have additional people reporting on arts happenings, and since the Gazette has been reborn and will be capturing a lot of the exhibits, performances, concerts, theater, as well as classes. And then still, I will go to visitokc.com for my monthly report. But, well, this is my last report, so it'll be Salvador after this. But I think it's good news for us that we have one more publication that's going to pay attention to the arts.
Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Arts and Cultural Affairs update.
Just a real quick update. We'll do a year in review in January, looking back on 2024, about what has been done. There may be a couple of surprises that you don't know about. So I don't remember, well, it'll come up here in just a minute. The third Monday in January is ML King Day. So the commission meeting will actually be on the fourth Monday in January. A lot of selection committee meetings going on right now. Other things have been developing behind the scenes and will be announced in January. So, like I said, I promise that the officers that it will be an exciting year, also the rest of the commissioners. So stay tuned for all of that for 2025. and thank you for your work in 2024. I personally appreciate it. On behalf of Robbie and Leandre and Rita, we appreciate your service to the city of Oklahoma City.
Thank you, Randy. Now we're at the comments from commission members. Anybody have anything?
I know you count on me to say something.
I know you would. I was just looking to see if anybody else wanted to.
Well, of course, it's December, and just about every arts organization in Oklahoma City that has, they've had things that have been going on. Some of them already passed, but I think the Ballet Oklahoma is presenting Nutcracker. I went this last Sunday, and it is totally different. So if you think, oh, I've seen Nutcracker before, I don't need to see it again, other than there being some very familiar music, it is different. The costumes are gorgeous, and so it's a new experience. So if you go, you'll go, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Also, Lyric Theater is still performing The Christmas Carol, and I'm sure that there are other exhibits going on at the museums and galleries. So go out there and get a piece of art, participate in art, have an artful holiday.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Okay, do we have any comments from the public? It's on the agenda. Okay, next, item 9, adjournment. I hit the hammer my last time. Thank you all for
Will there
putting
be a
up with me for the last
ceremonial
year.
passing of the gavel?
Oh, Commissioner Nauser? I'm sorry.